Hello everyone! It is really hard to miss Hrothgar. They're big, they're fluffy, and their lion-like face, big teeth and claws kinda make them hard to not notice. But what do we really know about them? Being one of the newer races in Final Fantasy XIV, we have actually not managed to learn that much about them, especially as we have never truly visited their homeland. So, in this video I'm gonna talk about the lore of the Hrothgars, so you can understand a little bit more about them, especially if you're playing one. First of all is of course that usually we only see the male Hrothgar. That is simply because females are actually very rare. The number of females is actually staggeringly low amongst their population, and so we rarely see them, at least till the developers make the female Hrothgar. Now the Hrothgars come from Ilsbarn, the Lost coming from northern Ilsbarn and the Hellions generally coming from southern Ilsbarn. And when the Hrothgar first came to Eorzea, it caused a little bit of a panic, because they could not speak common, which was problematic as to the Eorzeans, giant cat people showed up with their big teeth and claws and tried to communicate them, and it didn't go so well, so it caused a bit of a panic. But eventually the Hrothgar did learn the common tongue, and people realized they're actually just really friendly, big, fluffy guys, and we don't have to be afraid of them. In fact, they're actually so likable that they are welcome in all corners of the realm, though you might not find them everywhere. The main reason is most of Hrothgar are actually back in their homeland of Bosia. So the best way to understand it is actually there are two Hrothgar tribes, the Hellions and the Lost. Now, the Hellions, hailing from southern Ilsbarn, live mostly in the Bosian area. They center their entire society and daily life around their queen, which they believe was actually chosen by the gods. The reason for the myth is that the Hrothgar struggled against the Allegan Empire for a really long time. It was a long war they were losing, until all the Hrothgar in Bosian were united under a single queen who put an end to the war. This was their first queen, and her name was Gunnhildr. Sadly, even though Gunnhildr managed to unite her nation, Bosia remained poor and constantly in war against the Garlean Empire, who kept on trying to invade them and control them, until eventually they managed to do it. This is what caused the Hrothgar to actually go to the distant shores of Eorzea. Though in the later years we have seen the Hrothgar trying to reclaim their land through a group known as the Bosian Resistance, which have united Hrothgar and any other race that wants to help them in the effort of trying to take back their home. Now let's talk a little bit about the different clans, starting with the Hellions. The Hellions based their entire culture and society around the queen and serving her. They were given the name Hellions by a scholar who observed the society and compared it to the planets revolving around the star. Another reason that might link to it is that part of the Hellion religion is that those who are blessed by the gods are able to read the stars. They basically have their own astrologians. Now, different from the Hellions, the Lost actually do not serve a monarch. They have actually turned back on their queen and left their homeland in the hopes of finding freedom. This clan has grown to prefer the nomadic lifestyle. They can be found all over, usually taking on seasonal jobs, as they don't like to take on any jobs or responsibility that binds them down to one place. They can most often be found doing jobs like farm hands, temporary guards, or even merchants, as it allows them the freedom to travel pretty much where they want. Outside of the two clans, we can also find occasional Hrothgar here and there who are born and raised outside of the system. One very noticeable thing about the Lost is it's believed they are actually the ones who created the techniques of the gunbreaker. As I said, the gunbreaker technique comes from the Hrothgar of northern Ilsbarn, where the Lost are located. And then this technique has been passed down generations. And one thing I find kind of funny is while the Garleans like to look down on other races, especially the more beast-like races, they actually base a lot of their combat technology, like their gunblades, on old Hrothgar technology. But don't tell the Garleans that, they would probably take it personally. Now the look of Hrothgar between the different clans is quite similar. They are tall, they are muscular, and they are leon-like humanoids with large fangs and claws. The main difference is the fur color. While the Hellions have warm colors in their fur, the Lost are more likely to have light blues, blacks, and greys in their fur. The Hellions tend to have a darker color, while the Lost tend to have a lighter one. It is actually said the reason the Lost have this cooler color scheme is because they no longer are near the warmth of their queen, and therefore their fur faded. Now when it comes to the names, things are a little bit weird. So the Hrothgar based their name on clan convention. So for example, the Hellions have one naming convention which is based around their queen. When a queen is elected, she's given the prefix A to her first name, meaning in service of, referring to the queen being in service to her people. When a Hrothgar is born and a queen is still reigning, they are also given a prefix A to their names, denoting them being in service to their queen. Now all of the Hrothgar names have Slavic origin, so if you're looking for good names, I would recommend looking towards Norway, as most of the Hrothgar voice actors seem to be from Norway. Now the Lost do not follow a queen, so they don't get the A prefix. Instead, they actually have this tradition of getting the sk suffix, so SGH, which means lost in their tongue. Though when looking at it in-game, we have mostly met Hrothgar from the Lost clan, or at least who we can believe are from the Lost clan, but they are using Hellion names. It is a little bit hard to figure out if it is a mistake by the developers or if this is on purpose. I'm just hoping we kind of get to go to their homeland at some point and get to know them better, because both the Hrothgar and the Viera definitely need more fleshing out. Now tell me, did you find this video helpful? I hope you did learn something from this video. Tell me in the comments, do you know anything I didn't mention about the Hrothgar? Let's talk about it. And would you like to go to their homeland? If you like Final Fantasy lore, I highly recommend subscribing, pressing the notification bell, and if you want to be absolutely amazing, share this video with your friends, with your FC, and especially share it with any Hrothgar you know. If you have any lore ideas, you can either put it down in the comments or join the Discord. The Discord is in the description. We talk about games there, we talk about Final Fantasy, we talk about streams. It's a lot of fun, so go join it. I would love to have you there. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time.